Pittsburgh Steelers aren't done just yet inside of free agency. And what about a big name wide receiver that was just released from his former team? And what about this quarterback room and some of the contracts that may have to be picked up for the 2025 season? Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's talk about all this Pittsburgh Steelers news and what could potentially happen down the road here as we inch through free agency heading towards the 2024 draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers have some options in different places in the wide receiver spot. They could go to the draft and grab one of these young studs, which I think they really will do for sure. I actually think that that's probably a priority for them at some point during the 2024 draft. However, you see guys like one Mike Williams that was released from the Chargers. Yes, he didn't have a ton of playing time last year. He didn't see the field a ton, but Mike Williams was released from the Chargers and now is available to sign with other teams. One of those teams that are showing interest is Pittsburgh Steelers. They're one of those teams. They're in the mix with teams like the Jets and Panthers, several other teams that are interested in the services of Mike Williams. So I think the Steelers are eyeing up a couple here, bigger name free agents inside of this market. One being Tyler Boyd, Mike Williams. I think there may be a couple other options out there for the Steelers. Also, will the Browns maybe make a run at Mike Williams? So there are options out there for guys like Mike Williams, Tyler Boyd. There appears to be 4 teams in on Tyler Boyd also. So you should start to hear some of the news coming out of some of the front runners on who is probably going to land one of these two guys or where these bigger name wide receivers are going to go throughout free agency. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are definitely not done signing players, and I'm going to almost say with certainty the Pittsburgh Steelers sign another veteran wide out here in this free agency period. Yes, I think they're going to go and get one in the draft. It's a very, very deep draft with the wide receiver position. So I look for the Pittsburgh Steelers to definitely make a couple moves here concerning that position with the departure of Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers via trade. The Steelers get a cornerback in return, a guy that's probably going to start. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have filled some holes here, so they still sit with center being a need, right tackle being a need, wide receiver still being a need, maybe another cornerback inside of the draft if they need be. Maybe inside linebacker, defensive tackle spot. So there are still some needs, but Omar Khan has shored up this defense and offense a little bit throughout free agency and is not putting it all into the draft. So the Steelers have options, like I've been saying, and the Steelers definitely have options to go many different routes, and I don't think they could really foul this up because there are positions and needs, and I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to fill one of those, especially inside of the draft. And I think free agency is going to continue to prove to be really big for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a super cheap quarterback room. And that leads us into our next topic of the day. I've had commenters saying about Justin Fields and his big $26 million fifth-year option that the Steelers have until May to pick up. And you're all right. You're true. That's exactly what they have to make a decision on by May. But there are options with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have 2 really cheap quarterbacks. So what could this year kind of be for you if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? This could be one of those all-in, shoot-for-the-stars type years while you have 2 quarterbacks that you're paying basically nothing to and then restart fresh in 2025 if you don't want to sign either one of them. That could be if you don't pick up the Justin Fields 5th-year option. Or another way that the Steelers could travel this road is to try to figure out some sort of an extension, some sort of cheap deal with Justin Fields in the meantime. And what would that look like? Something like the Green Bay Packers did with Jordan Love. Gave him an incentive-laden contract that was allowing him to be able to perform the next year and earn a potential big dime payday. So the Steelers may go that route and kind of like take that 5th-year option and tear it up and wash it away. Maybe this is exactly what Justin Fields would want to do, give himself a year or 2 type deal, a prove-it type deal with the Steelers. That's something that could potentially turn into a long-term thing for him and really find his real home. Or they just let Justin Fields walk. That's the option. Or, they pick up that 5th-year option and pay him that $26 million and still have a pretty cheap room. But what if this? What if Russell Wilson comes in and plays super well in 2024 and really does big things and gets the Steelers to where they want to be? Do the Steelers want to re-sign Russell Wilson now and let Justin Fields go? That could be a potentially big thing. Because let's face the facts, guys, if they don't sign him in May to that, or extend that 5th-year option in May, and Justin Fields doesn't play all of 2024 and Russell Wilson is in there and he's shining, what kind of value does that give Justin Fields? Is he going to be able to be a big-time player in the free agency market? Could the Steelers still be able to sign him then on a rather cheap deal? That's the real question there too, but that's a gamble. Because what if Russ comes in, he gets hurt, he doesn't perform well, you go to Justin Fields, and Justin Fields balls out? Then you're going to have to do what? You're going to have to pay him big, big dollars if you didn't extend that 5th-year option just to get him re-signed. And then on the other hand, if you would have paid the 5th-year option, you would have had a guy that's a budding superstar for $26 million, which is absolutely still cheap inside of the NFL quarterback market. So again, guys, the Steelers have ways. They have roads to travel here. And this isn't just a definitive path that they have to follow, and if they don't hit on everything exactly, things will fall apart. That isn't how this works, and that's not how Omar Khan has this thing set up right now. And that is one of the higher qualities of Omar Khan, guys. Every good GM gives their team options. And I keep saying that, but I really want to bring that point home for you guys, the fan base of the Steelers. A good GM gives their team a ton of options, gives them outs, doesn't bury them under one exact plan to where if that plan fails, they're totally screwed. Omar Khan spreads things out, gives himself ways to get out of certain situations, covers his tracks in many different ways, and I got to applaud him for doing so. He's definitely building an organization to where they have options, and that is big. Really, really big. And I like the direction that Omar Khan is taking this, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention his sidekick, Andy Weidel. A guy that is really starting to really butt into his own general manager type role, and don't look for this guy to be with the Steelers very much longer, because he will be gobbled up by somebody as their next general manager. Andy is here until he doesn't want to be anymore, basically, because as soon as he goes on the market interviewing for GM spots, he will be hired, and he will be hired immediately. It will not take long. He will not sit on the open market long. Andy Weidel would be picked up quickly and paid handsomely, because he is doing a fantastic job alongside Omar Khan, and they are really making great moves, in my opinion. They are keeping things cheap. They are keeping the salary cap under control while bringing in veteran players and quality players, and they had an excellent draft in 2023, and you can't argue what they have done so far, because it has absolutely been special, and it's really been fun to watch. But guys, this is just really starting to just take shape. It is very early in the offseason. And I know some fans haven't been always happy with every move that the Steelers have made. I haven't either. But in general, it's been a great job by these two guys, Andy Weidel, Omar Khan, even Mike Tomlin so far this offseason. They have done fantastic. But I know everybody doesn't like every little in particular thing that they do. But you have to be patient, guys. This is something that has to grow, and we are very early in the off season. So don't get so discouraged about what is going on just yet. Allow this team to come together. Allow this team to really show what it is about here when we hit the OTAs. We start to hit the training camp periods. As the Steelers get through the draft, the rest of free agency, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what you see the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to do here moving forward. And I don't think it's going to be doom and gloom, and I think this year could really be one of those all-in, go-for-it-all type years for the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially under a guy like Russell Wilson that's going to be 36 years old when the season starts. Does that give you options at the quarterback position with Justin Fields? There's so many questions here. When we answered what could happen there at the beginning here, or in about the middle of the video, when we were talking about Justin Fields and Russell Wilson and the contract. So this could it could blow up in their face, but not really. Because even if they don't sign either one of those guys, what did you lose in 2024 other than, a chance to be good? You lost nothing. You didn't pay the quarterback room a shit ton, and you built up a roster around these guys, or around any quarterback that comes in, that is a quality roster. Because why? You were able to spend money in free agency. You were able to get good draft picks. That's a win for the Steelers. And if you look at the Steelers now as they're constructed, and what if they do go out and draft one of these guys in the mid to late rounds? Maybe that's a guy they want to put in their plans. What if you get a Spencer Rattler, Carter Bradley, a Joe Milton, somebody like that, anybody that could just come in and sit and watch and learn. And maybe they go to that guy if he shows promise in 2025. You never know. But again, guys, the con artists are giving you options. And boy, is it nice to have options, guys, because Omar Khan is not playing around, and this organization seems to be all in on the 2024 season, and it's really going to be fun and super cool to watch as this team develops and grows and comes together through OTAs and mini camps and training camp itself in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. So continue to watch this team. Don't get discouraged. Allow it to grow. Allow it to bud in front of your eyes, guys. That's what we need to do. Just in Omar, we trust for 2024, at least for 2024. Let's continue to trust in Omar Khan and continue to watch him work and pull off some big-time moves. I mean, the guy's robbing people, getting players for cheap. He got Patrick Queen for a hell of a lot cheaper than what he was projected to get, and teams were offering. And in my eyes, I think that was a big-time thing, a really big-time thing to get Patrick Queen on the price they did. They definitely are making some moves, and they don't want hostages. They want volunteers, and you saw Kenny Pickett go. You can't have that type of bullshit going on. Whether it's true or not, it's in the media now, and you're going to have that in players' heads. So goodbye, Kenny. Deontay Johnson causing a disruption, wanting traded. Goodbye, Deontay. You can't have that in this building this year in 2024. You need to keep this building upbeat and people that want to be there, because if you go any other path, you have any sort of disgruntled bullshit going on, you have the potential to destroy what you've built here in the 2024 offseason and the free agency period thus far. So, all right, guys, let's wrap it up. Don't forget our live show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Mic Drop Sports. As me, your host, Jason, we dive in on Steel City Live, and we talk about your Pittsburgh Steelers and what's transpiring on the daily news of the NFL also. So don't forget to tune in for that. The link will be posted. Turn your notification bell on. Don't miss the live shows. It's awesome. Also, guys, we are going to do a mailbag, so we haven't gotten many in there yet. We have a couple, so I'm going to let it build up a little bit more. So don't forget, email us at www.micdropsports.com. That's our email address. I believe it's www, whatever, however you put the email address in there. But anyway, micdropsports at yahoo.com. That's the email address. So I'm not a super tech guy, so bear with me, my friends. But that's the email address. You could contact us that way, and make sure you put your mailbag questions in there, and we could do it Wednesday upload, Friday upload, whatever. I just want to get a handful in there so we could have a portion of the show dedicated to it. So don't forget to email us your mailbag questions, and we'll do some content on it, which will be a cool idea to get your content heard, things that you want to talk about heard. So make sure you do that. Also, again, the live show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, let's start really sharing the channel. We are headed toward 5,000 subscribers, and I want to hit that before summer. So let's really buckle down here, continue to grow. We grow every day. You lose some, you gain some, but we gain a lot more than we lose sometimes. So let's continue to grow and share the shit out of this and really continue to build this community of like-minded individuals here on Mic Drop Sports. And again, I appreciate you guys so very much. And there's ways to support the channel in the bio. There's the email address so you can do the mailbag question. You can be a member for 99 cents a month, which is really cool. You get badges and emojis and all that stuff. During the season, you get a loyalty membership episode that is for members only on Wednesdays, and we're going to continue to build these perks. Also, it gets you into drawings and things like that when we do giveaways here on the channel, which we have one coming up in April. And also, don't forget, April 1st, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be joined by Merrill Hodge live here on Steel City Live. That'll be a really cool one. We will do some questions from you guys. I will have a great conversation with Merrill, maybe give you guys some insight to some new things that you didn't possibly even know about him. So we'll continue to do that and look for that. That's going to be really exciting. So until next time, I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports. Peace.